Hello guys, good morning. I'm gonna do the market open update, and as you can see on the 4 hour, pretty much we did what I was telling you. This was going to be a level of resistance, is at the same time our neckline, which yesterday had a shape of a cap and handle, with the handle in here, the cap in the larger area. And since we are having this new rejection from around 84K, which was the one that we were talking in the evening that could be strong resistance, we are producing another low. That low now this time went all the way to $81,400 and left a fair value gap at 82,400. So hopefully now it's gonna bounce in a similar way that we did when we bounced from 76. There's a week, then there is the one that went to 79. This, I will say, is still in progress, so I wouldn't count necessarily that that is the lowest level it's gonna get. It could be a little bit lower, and it could also fail, as I said last night as well. It could fail, it could be just as high as we're gonna get in this area. And the reason I published the video yesterday is, if you're very conservative, if you're not believing the move, particularly if you see that the volume is coming down and all those things, and you prefer to stay away from this long and just close it, that's absolutely fine. We can see that on the 4 hour we are a little bit rolling over, but many times we roll over and we do these kind of things, and eventually we get a lot more upside. It's impossible to tell. Last time we were rolling over, and then suddenly on a Sunday Trump said something and the thing went all the way to our final target. This time, again, I don't want to miss that. If it happens, if it doesn't happen, I have my plan, and my plan is to go for a potential new double bottom formation. So if we don't use this one and we cannot get as high with that one, then we have the next one that we could form in here. All of this hypothetically speaking. Of course, if there can be black swan event and then we get a W bottom in RSI minus 100. I'm just kidding, but you get the point. We don't know what can happen. Let's go to the daily time frame and let's see what we have managed to do overnight. You can see that we finally confirmed the pivot. That is a higher low. That is great. This should be here very soon, potentially by close of today, because it's one candle, then this is the second candle, but this is in progress. So I think after the second candle we confirm the pivot, therefore we could have another line connecting these two layers in there, confirming that that is a bullish divergence, if not a hidden one. I cannot think now, but it could be one of the two. On the daily, you can see that we are approaching that 84,100, 84,200 that I say is going to be pretty tough. Last time we reclaimed it immediately. Now we are approaching with a lot more fear, and people are taking profits there. And I mentioned last night that if we manage to cross beyond that, we can get into around 88, 87. Remember that that is the line where we are usually managing to get to. All right, so in regards to yesterday, I was talking about the hash ribbon signal, and many people are confused. So hash ribbon is this indicator at the top, as from Caprioli Investments, and it sends these capitulation signals. A capitulation is when the hash rate of the network of Bitcoin reduces that much that their moving averages, the 30 daily versus the 60 daily, produce a bearish cross. Why do we care that the hash rate goes down? Because that means that their equipment that is supporting the Bitcoin network has reduced the capacity to process things. And that usually happens when they are in stress. Miners in stress need to sell Bitcoin. That's why it's called capitulation, because they tend to have to sell some Bitcoin to manage their costs, electricity, and all of these things. That tends most of the time to produce a capitulation coming from miners, and that capitulation belongs to this indicator. What I was saying yesterday is that we are having another capitulation. Basically, the moving averages applied to the hash rate are having another bearish cross, and that now is confirmed, and we still don't have a recovery signal. For recovery signal, we need those same moving averages to have a bull cross. After we get a recovery, then we need the price to have a bull cross with their own MAs, okay? For that, we need to wait. You're probably wondering, are we going to have another capitulation? Well, we are already in the middle of a minor capitulation. So this is just a second one that meant that the hash rate wanted to recover, but it went down again. So they continue to be in stress. That could come with additional downside. We are not out of the woods when it comes to what the miners are experiencing. It's just that. It's not that Mariano is saying there will be a capitulation now for Bitcoin. I think we are in the middle of one already. All right, so CME gaps haven't been taken. We are slightly below it. We need to get up to 86 point something to fully close them. And I'm gonna go now and look at liquidation levels. As I'm recording, you can see that the price has reached 82.5. So it looks quite similar to this correction in here, that correction. So hopefully the third is going to also manage to pinch the 84 liquidity. 84 liquidity is more than the ones that we've been hitting to the upside. That was just green. This one is red. And guess what? The 87 is also more than the one at 84. Therefore, there is more motivation to go there. Does that guarantee the move to 87? Nothing does. Nothing. I mean, if something really bad happens to general markets, all liquidity to the upside is not enough argument to keep the price going up. This is just, a single move in the middle of a lot of chaos outside as well. Let's look at the order book. Let's do some surgery in here, and we can see we are still in extreme fear. I think I saw in the morning a little bit of negative funding rates, but it's just oscillating all the time, in and out from negative to positive. But that I can see that it's quite low in here. It's almost below zero. So that is something positive for the bulls. It tends to help the price to go up. And at the moment, the people continue to short. So we are kind of flat in the bid versus ask. So at the moment, that means that there is same amount of limit orders to the upside, same to the downside, to buy, to sell, to short, to long. So it's impossible now, just by looking to this, to say where are we going to go. And liquidation levels on the short side in here, you can see it has reduced quite significantly. So at some point we were like almost 600K, and now we are roughly 200K. So we have reduced that petrol to 1/3 of what we had when we were at 76K. Let's see if that is enough to continue to the upside, or if we're just gonna call it in here. We touched 84 and that was it. That will be a shame. But at the same time, if I go below 76 and I start thinking about my new order, which I need to still think about it, where am I going to place it? I'm in between 73.5 and 69, but I need to see the price coming down and see how everything changes as we go to that level to make a final decision. So at the moment, I don't have a clear answer for that. Let's look at liquidation levels in here, orders in the order book, and we still have the 72, 73. Now we have a 76, and they have pulled out the 70 and the 69. Interesting. They move it down to 66, 666. Pretty interesting number there. And then we have the 72, 600. So they are expecting that if there is a strong rejection at 84, potentially they want to enter a 72, 6. Watch out for those levels, because price does not necessarily get to those levels. Okay, so don't put it right at 72,600. You have to be less greedy, because they can front run you very easily. All right, guys, I hope you appreciate the update in the morning. If you do, hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That one is also very important. By the way, there's more liquidity now at 84. It's making it more interesting than yesterday. That's a good insight as well. If you do, hit the like, you know what to do. I'll see you in a couple of hours. I'm gonna probably do an in-depth video, or let me know in the comments if you want me to go live for the CPI. Some people, I think I saw some messages, people asking me for that. If I get enough messages with a live stream, I'm happy to do it. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.